Hey guys, what is up? Shadolance back for another review. Finally getting around to the K5SD for the second time. This is the first secondary review I've done in a little while, but I think it's important that I do it because it's a very nice little pistol. It's one of my favorites. Not exactly starting off the game with a super skillful kill, but it is OMA, so definitely give me a shot here. I think I did decide to go pistols only with this. This was a pistol only game. It's not something you usually see very much anymore, and you definitely don't see the K5SD used nearly as much as you used to. It's really a very nice pistol. People tend to not think of it when they think of nice pistols these days. They think of the fully automatic ones, or maybe the USPs and M19 series, but people typically overlook the K5SD. It's a fantastic pistol from the earlier game of combat arms. Going straight into the stats, nice ammo capacity, 13 of 26 compared to the USP SE's 10 of 20. So you're getting quite a few extra shots, 3 extra per mag, and with an extended magazine too, you can get 20 shots per magazine. That's really nice. The damage is particularly low. That's the only downside to this gun, in my opinion, though. The damage of 30 has pretty much no damage drop-off. That's not the issue. It still does close to maximum damage at a range, but the low damage by default definitely hinders the gun. Portability of 90 is very high. That's one of the highest in the game, especially considering this gun is one of the older guns in combat arms. The portability of 90 is very nice. The rate of fire of 48, I dare one of you to try to cap that because I doubt many people are able to even tap at a rate of fire that makes 48 seem abusable. The accuracy of 60 is very high. You can easily snipe with this gun at a relatively close range, medium range-ish. You should be able to tap fire your headshots pretty accurately. That's why I have an ACOG scope on it in this review, because it's actually a nice way to use the gun, actually. The recoil is only 56. That is a very low recoil. The recoil in this gun is practically non-existent. It's basically USP. The overall spread is just medium-sized. The spread recovery is pretty fast. It's a little above average, which is nice. As far as reload, it's very, very fast in this gun, especially considering the extra 3 shots per magazine and total amount of ammo, which is really nice. It definitely rivals the USP series and the M19 series, so that's definitely a plus. With the damage being the only downside, there's not really a whole lot of bad stuff to say about this gun. You just need to be able to fire fast, and I guess the fast fire rate makes up for the lower damage. If you can tap fast, this gun is definitely for you. Keep in mind it does have a silencer. That's definitely one of the biggest, nicest parts about this gun. The silencer is an S3 suppressor, if you guys can't tell, which means it's going to minimize flash, which in my opinion is the best available for this gun. I normally would say an S1 suppressor would be nicer on this weapon, but I usually kind of prefer the S3 on this one. It's basically the ultimate stealth gun in my opinion, if you don't count the Bushmaster with an S3 suppressor. I consider this to be one of the better pistols in the game because of its stealth abilities. It's very useful on longer range maps, especially ones that have cover like Kill Creek. I typically like to use this gun on longer range maps, typically because of the high accuracy. Even though the damage is low, aiming headshots, like I mentioned earlier, is very, very nice. Very easy to do with this gun. It's a very usable gun. The only downside I can really think of it is that at longer ranges, outside of scope, it's a little bit harder to use because the recoil, the spread is slightly on the upside to be used at longest ranges, although you really shouldn't be using a pistol at any super long range unless it's a pistol only game. But at that point you should have a scope on the gun unless you're trying to go for one clicks and trying to record. That's the only time I can really think you wouldn't want to put a scope on a pistol in a long range pistol only game. But that's why I chose Junk Flea. It's not particularly long range, easy to use. I think I'm going to go ahead and compare this to the regular K5, the one that most of you will have access to. I would compare it to the K5 Camo, but that's a relatively high rank gun, so I'm going to go ahead with the K5. It has no rank restrictions whatsoever, so all of you should be able to use it. It has the exact same stats as the K5SD with a damage of 30, portability of 90, rate of fire of 48, accuracy of 60. However, the recoil is 59 compared to the K5SD's 56, so it has a slightly higher recoil, and that's manageable. It also does not have the suppressor, and the damage drop-off is absolutely horrible. That's one big thing that got fixed with the K5SD. Although the damage drop-off is not perfect, it's definitely a lot better on the K5SD and the K5SD Camo than it is on the K5 Camo and K5. It's basically a linear scale. The K5 has the worst, K5 Camo is slightly better, K5SD is pretty good, and K5SD Camo is practically non-existent for damage drop-off, so that's very nice. Also, the K5SD Camo does have some other stat boosts as well, although I don't know that's off the top of my head. Another nice perk about this gun is, and actually this is true of every one of the series, is that you can put magazines and sights on everything, and the K5 and K5 Camo can also have a suppressor. You can choose your own. If I had to put a suppressor on any one of the K5 or K5 Camo guns, I would probably go with the S3, like I said earlier. S1's not unreasonable, but it already has very low recoil, so the flash is probably more important, not attracting so much attention. That's what I would typically be inclined to say. It doesn't have burst mode. It's semi-automatic only. I don't know why people keep telling me K5SD has burst mode. No, it doesn't. You can see it in this review. It does not have a burst mode. I don't know why people are under the impression that it does. I've been told that so many times, but that's about all I really have to say for this gun, guys. Thank you for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe. I would say as a last note, this is one of the top pistols I would recommend for NX Standard. After the USP and the M19, I do prefer my M19 Silver, but that's about all I can really say. Highly recommended gun, very nice to play with. And I will see you guys in the next video. Shadolance out.